So, hi, I'm Luisa. Could you say your name and briefly introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is LaToya Williams. I am from Barbados, all the way in the Caribbean, and I'm a part of the YAM, which is like white here, but for the Caribbean.
Okay, how do you feel about being a girl?
Pretty cool. It rocks, no, at least. Got a lot more opportunities. I am educated. For one, I just finished my bachelor's, and I feel great, more empowered.
Have you ever wished to be a boy?
Probably. In relationships, I find that they have like the upper hand at times. Like they can't get pregnant. They don't have to worry about, any of that sort of stuff. It's just easier. They don't have to think about anything. What pill to take, what pill not to take, what contraceptive to go on. There's nothing for them. And everything is left up to you to just take care of it. Yeah.
How do you feel about taking care of it?
There are a lot of options. I mean, they're not like just two. They're like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I feel as if I have a lot more variety. There are a lot more things to my disposal. If I didn't have the education, I would probably feel pretty bad about it. But because I have so much education, I have so much access to it, it's a lot better. But if I didn't have access nor education, I'd be screwed.
How did you get to that access? How did you get involved in YAM, and what happened?
They had a really cool poster at school, and I decided to take it down and take it home and apply, and then I joined, and 5 years later, I'm here.
What was on the poster?
Something about sex. That caught my eye. I can't remember exactly, but it was something about sex.
How would you say, what is the function of sexuality in the life of a girl, a woman, a girl?
I think it's a core principle. You can't be a girl and not think about your sexuality. I mean, you can't just stand up on the side of the street and pull it out. So it's integral. It's inside of you. It's the entire part of you. You have your menstruation. I mean, that's a task already. Men don't have that. That's another day I wanted to be a man. Menstruation day. But I think it's central and it's very, I don't know, it's completely being a girl. If you don't know your sexuality, if you don't know your vagina, then you tend to be quite frigid and quite, not knowing exactly how to chart life. You find that most women who are comfortable with their bodies are those who seem to excel well, and they excel better, and they're happier because they don't give a shit about anybody.
How do you teach that to people? How do you learn that? How do you transmit that message?
Well, what we've done is look at values and how you value yourself and value your body, and then we usually have like dialogues and just not boring talks, but something really, really artsy and catchy. So we do plays and stuff like that, and then we introduce them to different things, like understanding that masturbation is completely natural. I mean, if it wasn't, then a lot of people would have hair on their hands and be dying and all that random foolishness. But that type of understanding is what keeps us going. And if we don't share the information and if we stifle ourselves, then yeah, that's how we share that. We give them practical applications, let them know that it's real and it's useful, and that it's not just something in a story, but it's something that they can apply to their life and it can make their life better. That's how I transmit that information.
What do you think? What is the biggest issue for girls worldwide?
I think access. And I say that access broadly. Access to healthcare, access to education, be it even beyond comprehensive, just basic education, equal to men, equal in society. I think access to every single thing that men are able to access, women should be able to access. And I think that that's one of the fundamental things that retard our development, because we don't feel inspired nor empowered as women. We think sometimes we get trapped into the role of mother, and that's our primary function, is to bear children. So I think access is a fundamental issue for me. Even just women who are living with HIV, accessing their rights to reproductive health and reproductive choices, central. Yeah.
Okay, like you mentioned, how do you think what has changed? Like how it was to be a girl when your mom was growing up, and how it has been for you? What have been the differences?
My mother has always been give her props. She's always been big on books. And she's been big on books because, you know, literacy has been like a forefront in Caribbean and trying to make sure every single person is literate. So that's been her biggest push. For me to be more literate to her, for me to have bigger and better opportunities than her, and for me to be more educated. So I think that education and understanding certain things. My mother was like my biggest push. When I brought home the poster and I showed her, she was like, yeah, family planning, you should do that. She was like, yeah, do that. She talked to me a lot about sexuality. She was the mother that had the banana and the condom. That was my mother. I was that child. And I remember it like yesterday, but yes. So I think my mother is extremely open, and her generation from then forth has been like, nah, we're not about all the BS. We're straight talkers. We will tell our children the truth, and that has revolutionized the way in which we as young leaders have come forth, and we're even more revolutionary. I think I scare my mother, and that is something new.
Do you have like famous role models or women that inspire you?
I'm trying to think. Is there one? There's probably many. I see role models in everybody, pretty much. It's kind of funny because I don't have this one person I fixate on. I have many. There's probably particular attributes that I like about someone and something about the other. I like somebody's personal style. I like somebody else's bravery. I love trendsetters. There's certain things I like about people. Like, I'm a very disorganized person. I love people who are organized because I can't be. So I try to adapt for different women. But one particular person, nada.
But could you think of somebody whose poster you would put in your bedroom?
Oh. This is going to sound really lame for a Barbadian, but I buy, every time I travel, I buy any, I really do mean any magazine that has Rihanna on it. Because she's Rihanna, because she's my age, she's from Barbados, and she's been particularly revolutionary. I look to her not as a particular, how can I say that? I wouldn't say she's my role model in life, but she's somebody I look to and say, yep, she did it, she made it big, I can do it too.